Hello, my name is Jacob Totson, and welcome back to the Wisdom of Odin. So I am just doing an update video for you here on the nonprofit, the Fellowship of Northern Traditions. So really what we're talking about is this book here, Rituals from the North. This is a collective work from most of the leadership at the Fellowship of Northern Traditions. It is just our way of recording our ritual history. And so that's the main topic of this video, but I'm also going to be giving an update on how everything's looking for the nonprofit because it's been about a year. But really, if you just want to go ahead and purchase the book, there is a link down below, of course, pinned in the comments and in the description as well. And so I'm going to talk about this, give an update, and yeah, just have a little chat with you and show you where everything's going with the Fellowship of Northern Traditions. So recently this channel reached over 100,000 subscribers, and the last time I talked about the Fellowship of Northern Traditions was probably, it was about a year ago, and I probably had about 70,000 subscribers. So there's possibly 30,000 of you out there who actually don't know what the Fellowship of Northern Traditions is. A quick rundown of it is it is a nonprofit that is recognized by the United States government as a church. I think that was the last video I had, was telling the world that we received church status, which means the government recognized us as a religion, which is pretty cool. So our main purpose with this nonprofit is to put on spiritual events around the world, primarily in America, honoring the northern deities, the northern traditions, hence the name. So this really is just a group of friends that came together, put our official hats on, and put together this nonprofit. And so we're not really big on online things, so that's not really what we do, and I don't think it's what we're known for. We do plan on doing a little bit more with Discord. Eventually, my Discord that is on Patreon is going to shift over to the Fellowship within the next 6 months. That is a goal. But other than that, we are really focused on in-person events, and we have around 20 a year at this point, pretty consistently. We focus these events around the seasonal cycles, and they're anywhere between 10 people and 100 people. So we typically get a pretty wide range of people that come to these events. So we have a website if you want to check it out. On that website is all of our events, everything that's going on. And then recently we have the book edition, but I also want to share an update for the GoFundMe as well. So we have over $20,000 raised for the GoFundMe, which is really exciting. We do want to purchase land to have a spiritual retreat center. We want to build a Viking long hall. We want to put up some stone circles. And so this has been a dream for ever since we've been getting together, which again has only been 3.5 years. And we already have $20,000 raised, which is really incredible. So we think we're actually at striking distance now as far as being able to seriously look at properties, because really the problem that we're having is, do we just go ahead and buy something outright for $20,000, $18,000? Or do we put in a down payment on a loan, and do we get a nicer piece of property that we have to pay payments on? So this is something we're really having to figure out, because a lot of the properties we're finding at the $15,000 to $20,000 range are like hillsides with potential mudslides and floods. Whereas the properties that we really would prefer are between 60 and 100,000. And so we really are hoping that we are going to be able to make a move on something within the next 6 months. I know it feels like the carrot on the stick sometimes, but this is a long process. This isn't something that you want us to do overnight. That's not something you want. It's not something we want, because we want to make sure we find the right property. And so with that, this book, all the proceeds, of course, go to the Fellowship of Northern Traditions. I received none of the proceeds from this book. This is purely for the nonprofit, and the majority of the money that is going to be raised in the next few months are all going to go towards down payment or towards buying a property. So at the time of making this video, we already sold 50 copies, which is really great. And so I'm hoping this video will get a few more in there as well. We're really hoping to have around $30,000 in total to bring to a bank and say, hey, how much of a loan can we get, or find a property that is worthwhile at $30,000. So we really want to push for this. So 2024, we want to be the year, specifically early 2024, around springtime or late winter, we really want to make a move on a property. So this book and the GoFundMe are the main ways we're doing that. I do want to clarify once again, as I've done in the past, the nonprofit, the Fellowship of Northern Traditions, and myself, Jacob Totson, the Wisdom of Odin, are completely separate at this point. If you want to support me as a creator, that's Patreon. That's how I'm able to do everything that I do on this channel. But also it's because I sold everything. People like to suggest that I take money from the nonprofit. This is simply not true. The way I'm able to travel is because I sold everything. When I actually sat down and did my finances last year, I was spending $1,000 a month on rent alone because my rent moved from $700 to $1,000 in 2 years during COVID. And then with my car, insurance, internet bills, all this stuff, electric, adding up, I was spending $1,800 a month just to like sit in an apartment. And so when I did the math, I was like, well, shoot, if I get rid of all those things, that's $1,800 a month. I could just travel abroad. I'm very lucky that I have a job that I can work anywhere in the world and has benefited from working anywhere in the world. And so the reason I'm able to travel is because I literally do owe nothing in the States. I have no bills in the States. My only bill every month is my phone. And that's it, which is absolutely incredible. And it took a lot of work to get there. So that's how I'm able to be in places like this in Scotland. The travel is amazing. I'm really lucky to do it, but I am getting quite tired. I do think I need a break. And so I will be going back to the States here really soon to work on my backlog of content, but also to work with the fellowship. I mean, this is something that's really big for us. Is that the land really is like becoming a possibility. $20,000, book just released. And so my next goal going back to the States is to really plant in and help hunt for land. And again, I really want to us to have something in 2024. I know people will not believe me out there. They'll be like, oh, they'll never buy land. But we will, and I'm really hoping it's going to be in 2024. So if you want to support what we're doing to buy land in the United States in order to have the Spiritual Retreat Center to celebrate the Northern traditions in a way that goes on for generations, hopefully. The GoFundMe is the direct way to help with that, and then the book. Okay, we'll talk about the book now. I just really wanted to make sure I gave an update here to know that things are still moving. Holy shit, things are moving so quickly. We've had so many events this year. And we're about to have our biggest event ever. We're talking to a property right now to have over 100 people potentially in Ohio, I believe is what we're looking, and then maybe possibly Kentucky, depending on places. So we're about to have our biggest event ever in January. So that's going to go on the website here very soon. But okay, we'll talk about the book now. So for anyone that's interested and not sold on supporting the community with the book or the GoFundMe, this book is actually, I think, really good. I'm not just saying that because I know everyone that wrote it and because I put a lot of work into this myself, but we really wanted to just write down and preserve our rituals for future generations. I mean, this is the first edition. This is volume 1. And so this could keep going for, additional volumes to make it bigger and bigger. So we really just took some of the best rituals we performed over the years. We compiled them in this book along with some few extra ones. The main meat and potatoes of this is mostly rituals for the seasonal changes, and then the gods and spirits as well, with some ancestor rituals. And then my favorite bit is we actually do have kind of our ritual view on ritual in here. So Mary, one of our leaders, wrote a really amazing section on how we view ritual practice. And then I kind of added some stuff in there as well. Our main perspective on rituals is we understand that the past must be honored. We understand things must have roots, but we also understand that things have to evolve. We have to allow things to continue on, because if we get so stagnated in the past, we're not growing. We have to grow. And so our rituals are definitely a mix of historic references and roots with New Age practices. I won't deny that to you. But I honestly, truly believe that the rituals we have within this book really do honor the past, because we're really not diverging that far away from the sagas, from the Eddas. That's also something I should mention. This is primarily Norse focused. We are the Northern traditions. Majority of our members are Norse focused, but there are some Celtic things in here as well, and more open things. We have a Green Man ritual in here. And so yeah, we're expanding slowly, but again, we're primarily a Norse community. However, we're completely open to the Northern traditions. As you've seen on this channel, I've talked about Celtic subjects and Finnish subjects as well. So that's coming in here and showing our evolution, because that is the important thing. We don't want to stagnate. We want to continue to grow. And so these rituals are funky. They might be something you've never heard of before, but I hope hopefully you'll see as well that the majority of these rituals are really heavily based in the source material as well. That's another thing, is this book was written from the perspective of group rituals. However, we did our best to make sure we kind of wrote in there how you can do this on your own as well. And so for like the Lotfafnir ritual, just memorizing things, this is really big. And so being able to memorize entire lines from the Havamal is a way, an offering to Odin, is a way to dedicate yourself to the Norse belief system. I'm not going to say this book is perfect. We've edited it a couple of times. Again, this was written from like 15 different people's perspective. And then myself and then Logan, who are credited as the editors, basically had to combine everything and figure out how to get all these tones and voices to come together into something that was cohesive. Everyone's different writing style. It was a lot of work. And so I'm not going to say it's perfect. I've already found like 2 errors again. I'm like, oh, we've edited this like 3 times. But this is our way to preserve our history, preserve what we're doing here at the Fellowship of Northern Traditions in a way that's not just through the internet, through videos or pictures. It's in a physical book. So by purchasing this book, you're helping to support us in continuing this vision, but also you're getting this book so you can be inspired in your own practice. Maybe give you some ideas, or maybe you can try one of these rituals out. That's really why we wrote it, is so you can be inspired and see that not everything has to be either stuffy or so new age it's not grounded anymore. We really wanted to find balance in the historic and the new age. I think that's all I have for you today. I really just wanted to give you an update on the community, kind of share with you what's going on here behind the scenes. Things are really looking kind of crazy here. I'm looking at the GoFundMe right now, and we're getting really close. I mean, truly, I do truly believe that 2024 is the year. I really, really believe that it's early 2024, but we got to find the right piece of land, and we got to do it in the right financial mindset. We have to do it smart. And not only that, we have to prepare the community for this. This is something that we want to make sure we're doing right. And so please be patient with us. We're almost there. We're getting so close. The moment we actually purchase the land, that's when the work really begins, because then we have to prepare the land, honor the land, cleanse the land, and then continue to grow and cultivate that land into something truly beautiful. And so this is something that is a multi-year process. It's going to take a long time, even from the moment that we purchase this property. So we're getting there, almost there, and I can't wait to see that land with you. Hopefully in 6 months, I'm making another video saying, boom, we got it. And I'm showing you and giving you a tour and showing you what we're going to do and what we're hoping for. So thank you to everyone out there. There's so many of you that support what I do as a creator, but also support this community. I'm so proud of how far we've come in such a short time. I mean, nonprofit status, $20,000 raised, book wrote, 20 events every single year. I'm really, really proud of how far we've come, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the amazing people who support this community as members, or support my channel as watchers, or supporters on Patreon, and then of course the fellowship leaders, the people that help me run this. I cannot do this alone. I have not done this alone. This community is a community, and I'm truly honored to be a part of such an amazing group of people working towards something truly amazing. And then I also have to give a shout out. So while I travel, Logan, the accredited second writer here, is also the person that runs the community in the States, while I help here internationally as well in my travels. So Logan, to you, you're a true legend. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. You're my second brain. We've had many conversations while you've had a baby and all this stuff. So truly, my brother, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without you. You've truly, truly added so much to this community and so much to this book as well. So I'm going to go ahead and end this before I get too emotional, but I'm truly just blessed and honored and grateful to live this life, to share this information with you on this crazy, weird internet thing that we have. So I can't wait to show you what happens in the future. And thank you for anyone who supports this community, my channel, or purchases this book. Thank you. And I haven't said it in a while, but I'll say it here. Until the hall. Skål.